Good day, puppy lovers. I have Akina with me today, and I'm going to do a full groom on this little girl. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So this little girl is a 3-year-old Shih Tzu, and she's all dirty, as you can see. So let's give this girl a nice wash. I will see if I need to do 2 shampoos because little one looks a little dirty, but depending on how my soap reacts, I'll see. Always sure to check your temperature, the water temperature, so that it's not too hot. And soak her up really good. You want to stand? Oh, she knows that it's time to do her belly, so she gave me her belly. Really? All right. Next, I need to shake my bottle because I put the soap in there, and I like to put little marbles in there because it helps to dilute the soap. It helps mix it well. You know, just like in the nail polish bottles. Do they still do that? Do they still put some in? I haven't seen that in a while. I'm wondering. Those little metal balls that they put in the nail polish. So in general, I like to always, yeah, I think she needs a, I could just do squeeze here, hang on. Let's see the soap. Yeah, so in general, I like to do like 1 section at a time. In everything I do when I'm grooming, I do section by section. So my windows are open today, so you're going to hear a lot more cars. So she's not bubbling much, so I think she's going to need 2 shampoos. So let's move along and get these shampoos done. See how the soap is just staying liquidy like that? That's telling me that she needs 2 shampoos. There's no fluff, there's no, you know. And you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, to give your dog a nice cut, the dog needs to be clean. If the dog isn't, because she's young, right? So if the dog isn't young, if the dog's older, you probably, you might settle with only 1 shampoo. And maybe to try to, you know, what I do when they're older and they're just not, they're too frail and you just want to get them done quickly, right? I don't mean fast, I mean quickly. You get the job done, get them off the table. But what I tend to do is just kind of take some of that shampoo off like that, and then maybe squirt a little more to do a second, a kind of like a second shampoo. See, the suds come out better like that. So again, I'll do 1. Between the toes, and I'll kind of squeeze it off, and then I'll add more, because sometimes when they're older, you know, they tend to be more stressed. Or I'll do that with an older dog or a stressed dog or even a puppy, but she tolerates the bath pretty well, so she does good. So I'm just going to give her a good rinse all this dirt off, and then give her a second shampoo. So if you enjoy shampoos, you're gonna have a treat because I'm doing a second one. And if not, you can just fast forward to the next step because I'm not editing anything out. Get the belly and under the chest here. Can't see anything there, so let's do the top of your head. Keeping the head back is best because the soap will run backwards. And yeah, I'm just gonna get this all done here. Get the ears done. I'm blocking the ear. I don't want any soap in there. Oh, there's a bug. She brought a bug. Oh, poor little thing. It looks like it passed away. Well, I'm not the type of person who kills bugs. I like to bring them outside if I find a bug. 2 mornings now that I found June bugs in the house. Laying on their back, trying to get back up. They can't figure it out. I have no idea why they're made that way. It's like if you fall on your back, you can't get up. Just like a turtle. Turtle falls on its back, it has trouble getting back up. It's often helped by other turtles, where the turtle will actually push the other turtle up and flip them. They're smart. Some not so smart. I'll just get in here with my other product that I have at the table. So I don't want to get soap in there, and her nose is way too short. Let's rinse her out. That's pretty dirty. Yeah, I've seen dirtier. But, you know, that soap just didn't want to bubble up the way I like. So we'll just give her you want to stand? You're standing on your own, you know. I don't like when they do that because they can fall back. And she was just like standing on her own. I gotta catch you when you do that. Can I rinse here? Give me a second. Try to rinse on the top of your head. Block your nose. I'm just blocking her nose so she doesn't get any in her nose. Now I want to rinse the top of her head. So I forgot to get my washcloth. Give me a second. So she's tied in there. She's fine. She's secured in the bath. I'm going to wipe this up. And hold her ears down. All right, wipe it up again. Now let's get a second shampoo going. See, those are the bubbles that I like. A lot frothier. So it's back, tail, bum, one leg, you gotta be careful. A lot of these dogs, they have their little knees can pop sometimes just by moving their leg. The little knee pops. Just by lifting it, you can feel it go pop, 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 pop. It just moves. So you got to be careful with their knees. These little breeds tend to have that. All right, next one. Sometimes if your soap isn't frothing, that could be because you didn't dilute dilute it properly. It could be over diluted where you put not enough soap and too much water. So you have to read on your bottle to see exactly how much you're supposed to be putting in there, how much water. All right, we're going back to the head. Do your sides first. So yeah, the bath usually takes me about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes in the bath. Takes about 10 minutes to dry also. 10, depending on the dog. It's an average of 10 minutes. Squeeze that excess off. I'm going to add more soap here. So when cleaning the ears, you got to be sure you're cleaning the inside. I don't mean the inside here, but like the inside of the flap of the ear, the leather. Again, I'm going to clean this out at the table. I don't want to put any soap there. To me, if the finger width is about the same as my finger, it's got to be longer than that. Like if I put my finger in there like that. For me, anyhow, that's how I do it. You do it the way you feel comfortable, as long as you're safe and not getting any soap in the dog's eyes. So for those who don't know, I started my memberships, and if you're interested, you could join. I'm uploading all kinds of stuff in there, just, behind the scenes. I'm also doing quiet grooming. I started that. I have one video up, so I'd like to do another, like a whole bunch of them. And the quiet grooming is just me not talking. For those of you who are sick of hearing me talk, I just call it quiet grooming. I want to bring her head down. I'm just holding that little nose so she doesn't get any, no honey, get back down. I don't like when you do that. So I'm not going into the ear here. I'm just going around behind her neck. And once again, I am going to just get rid of all that water here. And then squeeze down the ears, because if I don't take the water off, if I put the ears down, I'll squeeze water in there for sure. So that's why I do it this way. You can also pinch the ear once you take all the water out with the washcloth. And not squeezing too hard. You still don't want to make the mistake of, if there's still a little water left, to squeeze that water in. And I really like to dry that up good. And I'm still seeing that it still needs to be rinsed a little more. Hold the ear down, because you can see sparkles, right? Soap sparkles. If you're seeing any soap sparkles, then the dog needs more rinsing. There. No more soap sparkles. All done. Okay, so I'm just going to be sure that she's all rinsed out here. Head to tail, underneath the tail, bum, sides, legs, all the way to the toes. This leg too. She loves to stand. It's the last place I'm going to rinse anyway. This is the bottom part, the belly part. All right, so this is rinsed out. And I'm just gonna soak all this water up with my towel here, my washcloth, which I absolutely love. I love these washcloths. They're just face cloths that I got off of Amazon. Super absorbent. There. At your feet. There. All right. I think that's good enough. Is that good enough, honey? We're done. You're clean, that's for sure. Are you saying no? Is that good enough? And then she shakes. It's as if she's saying no to me. All right, we're gonna get you to the table, close light. Get you to the table. And get you dry. All right, so little girl, I just realized that I ran out of rounds. I gotta go get more. So when that happens, no worries. You can always use a washcloth. So, just gonna clean out her eyes here. See if there's any debris in there. So there was debris. And I'm just using this is a flea comb, so I'm using a flea comb for that. Look at all that debris that came out. Okay. And as I've shown you many times, fluffing this back up, being careful, I'm not getting into her eye with the comb, I'm just floating above. She's closing her eyes anyway. And I come in with scissors, you can come in with clippers if you prefer. I'll just use the scissors a bit to get rid of some of that. I don't like to blow in their face because I don't want to get any of that in her eyes. So as I said, I ran out of rounds. I gotta go pick some up. It's Saturday, it's the last day of my grooming week. And I'm just gonna add some on my towel. So if you don't have rounds, you can use your towel. That's fine. Okay, and we're just gonna clean that eye. And I'm gonna show you how I clean the ears when you don't have rounds. I'm still gonna flip this over, see how dirty that is? I'm gonna flip it over and use the other side for the other side here. Now, this is a new, I've been using this wall. It's pet stain remover from Wall. I'm not sure, I like it, but I'm not sure how much I'm liking it. Oh, we're just gonna wipe it up. It's not that it kind of bubbles. It's not that it needs to be rinsed or anything. It's just, it kind of bubbles, and I'm not sure. I don't know. It seems fine. Maybe I'm being picky. All right, so there was a shop that I used to work in my early days. The way they would clean the ears was with a baby wipe. You can still do this. If the ear is really dirty, like deep down inside, I would prefer not using this. I would prefer using a real solution going down deep into the ear, but her ears are fairly clean. And so I just do the exterior, like around this part here. She doesn't need any plucking. She's all good. And her ears are fairly clean, so I'm fine with this. I'm gonna use another side of this baby wipe, and I'm just gonna come in and just kind of clean up just around the ear here. So if you're stuck you don't have any rounds or any cottons or something, you can always use you could use the washcloth too to clean inside the ear. But if that's a real dingy, dirty ear, like goes deep inside, I suggest you really get the product. And she doesn't need any plucking, so she's all good. See, her ears aren't even dirty. I'm gonna show the bum here a little. I'm going to check to see if there's any debris there. There's no debris. So she's all good, and you can wipe that up with so she's all good. Clean this up. And this is gonna go to the wash. And I'm going to disinfect with alcohol. I always like to use my alcohol to disinfect my tools that were in specific areas. So she gets a little bit of the spray. I could have done the spray first. I usually do the spray first. It's best because, you know, the spray has time to penetrate while I'm doing other things. But it's okay, she's fine. Should be fine. You're pretty soft anyway. All right, just rub that in. I'm gonna dry her, guys. I'll record the drying. If ever you do not like to hear the drying, I'm gonna lower the drying sound. If ever you don't like to hear the drying or watch the drying, you can still skip to the next step, because there are other steps to the grooming process. Usually the drying takes me about 10 minutes, so if you just move it about 10 minutes. So I'm going to put ear protection for my ears because I have tinnitus, and I'm going to put ear protection for her. Again, this doesn't necessarily like protect their hearing. It does lower a bit, but it also helps specifically for the wind sound, for them to not be so stressed. Some dogs do not like the happy hoodie, and they'll try to just take it off with their paws, and they might panic. So if they do that, then just don't put the happy hoodie on. It's fine without it, just be careful with the dryer. You gotta show me your bum bum. Gotta get in this sling here. I set her in this because I don't want her turning. Sometimes they turn, and this just helps me. It helps them too to not be flying all over the table. So here we go. Okay. All right. So let's take all this gear off. Everybody. Me too. I'm going to switch her to the other side here. Come here, hon. Over here. Okay, thanks. Usually like to flip this over and let this dry out. Take this out of the way. Have a sip of my coffee. I always do that. I make myself coffee in the morning. I have a few sips, and then I start working, and I tend to forget about my coffee. So I never have my whole coffee. All right, so the next part of drying, so that's, yeah, I got 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes in, 8, 9 minutes. So we're not done. As I said, it's approximately 10 minutes. It can be 15, depending on the dog. Put this on a little higher. So I like to use this Dews dryer because it's hands-free, of course, as you can see. And the dogs take to it fairly well. She just wants to lay there. A little on her ear. Now you don't have to dry 100%. If the dog's doesn't like it, you can just do maybe at least an 80-85% drying. But the better you dry, the better your cut will be. Excuse me. So yeah, the better your cut will be, but if the dog's not having it, it's just best to make the dog comfortable. Let's see if my microphone's right there, okay? Okay, turn a bit. Turn, hun, to the other ear. So I got another few more minutes to dry her head. So if you want to skip forward to the next step, you're more than welcome. The rest will dry on its own anyway. It should be all good. Can you turn a bit? Ugh. Lift this up, lift your head. Just a little under here. Lightly, you don't want to be scratching the skin, I'm just tapping. Really slowly around the eye area, because if she moves and you have this, you don't want to scratch her eye. A little on this side, and I think that'll be good. That's fine. Want to get up, hon? Thank you. Right. Oh, let's straighten this out here. All right. Bring this back up a bit. All right. Check out your pads, little girl. Oh, do your belly first. I have my 10 blade already set on there. So 10 blade for the belly. Now, it just makes for a cleaner belly when you're shaving around here. It's just cleaner. That's why we do this. It gets it cleaner. You want to get all that area here. So I'll go from the back to do that area. Here I'm going to clip under her arm. I don't want any matting or knotting happening there. And if there is any matting or knotting, then this takes it all out. We'll turn her around and we're going to lift her leg. And we're going to do this area here. You just want to go to one side lightly, tapping lightly, and to the other side, same thing. Just want to shave all of that out, so that when she goes and pee-pees, it's all clean over here, okay? You can also do the bum. You guys never see me doing the bum with the shaver, but here, just to show you, you lightly go around, and you don't want to be touching the skin with this. Don't touch the skin and don't touch her poopy hole. So I usually do it with the scissors. You can do it with the clipper, just as I showed you, as long as you're using a 10 blade. You don't want to go any shorter than 10, okay? Now I'm going to do her pads with a 30 blade. If you're not used to the 30 blade, please use a 10. And then once you get used to doing the pads, and you know, I mean really used to it, then you can come in with a shorter blade. Some use 40 blades. Personally, I don't feel the need to go that short, but 30 is pretty short. And you can cut the dog. If they're kicking around, you don't want to be using a 30 blade. You use a 10 blade, because if they kick, you can get this blade right into there, and they have tendons in here, and you can end up cutting them badly. And when feet bleed, So I usually come in one side, other side. I don't dig too much. And I just go all around the toes here. In my last video, I was grooming the pup, and the pup only had 3 toes. Instead of 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, the pup had 3 toes. And I had groomed that pup before, but I had completely forgot that she had 3 toes. And it's just because that's the way she was born. It's not that she lost any toes or anything, she was just born that way. So I'm noticing here she's got a little bit of mats going on here. I will either try to come in and just scoop that out lightly. No, you know she's feeling that mat. Or I would have gone in with scissors, but I got it with the clipper. She's good. All right, so now let's brush her a bit. Hang on, what I like to do here is, I started doing this. I don't know if this makes any difference for you guys, but I think you can hear a little better because I have a second mic here. I didn't realize when I bought my mics that it came with 2 mics. I didn't realize that. So I'm just going to clip this on this, and I'm going to wear it that so that when I'm brushing, you guys can hear a little more of the brushing and the scissors and whatnot. So let's pull out the brush and the comb. I like to use this slicker brush here to get through little knots and mats and tangles. And I always like to tap and pull up and away and not brush onto the skin like this. So by tapping and pulling up, I'm not scratching the dog's skin, none whatsoever. So you just tap and pull away, okay? There are different ways you can hold your brush. You can hold it like this. You can hold it like this. You just have your thumb. This is what this is for. Your thumb's there. That's the proper way to hold your slicker brush. But depending on the direction, I'll just flip it around. And you'll just see me flipping through depending on what part I'm brushing. You don't want to hurt your wrists, because when you're doing this all day long, you know. See that scratch that it left? See that? Well, if I'm to do that on the dog's body over and over and over and over again, that's just going to start burning. It's called brush burn. So she's got a few little mini mats here that I know I can just work through. If some of the mats or knots just don't want to come out, I'll just come in and cut. But I always like to try to come in first. And then I'll just try to separate this way. Like if there's a mat, you can do like ripping. You call it ripping. I call it ripping. You just like kind of separate it. Usually dogs around this area, they don't like to be brushed. The whole base of the tail especially. And once you think you've got it all done, which I know I don't have it all done, but I just want to show you, you come in with your comb to see if there are any more knots. There are different tools you can use. There's this other tool you don't see me use too often, but I do use often. Where is it? Give me a second. I'm going to try to find it. Oh, there it is. Sorry, it was back there. Okay. I use this here, the mat splitter. It's a mat comb. I just come in, and this is not meant to put in and pull. It's not. It is meant to put in and pull up and down like a saw. What it does is these are blades. It does not cut on this side, it cuts on this side. And what the blades do is you just go up and down and it just separates. You can also find the mat, hold the back, and do like this, but not pulling out like that and pulling out like that and just pulling out. If you do pull out, you can, as long as you're pulling up and out, you know, because you're cutting, you have to have that, see, like I'm pulling out, I'm giving a flick with my wrist. She's such a patient dog. Good girl. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, I have more videos on my channel, and I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Eastern time, sorry. I say 10 a.m. because I used to go live at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. And you can also join my memberships where I'm sharing grooming and other parts of my life. Like I'm sharing the progress of my garden, of my front lawn, and just how everything's coming along, like the planting of it, the planning, just everything. There are other things I want to share also. Okay. I'm taking my mask off and put it back on because I'm getting hair up my nose. So the prep is what's the longest. You give a bath, dry in a brush, clip the toenails, which we're going to do next. You know, you're dematting also. Shaving the hair off of under their pads. And yeah, so before the cut, there's at least a good, for a little girl like this, it takes me about an hour for 50 minutes to an hour to get her prepped for her cut. And her cut usually takes me about 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, depending. She's getting grumpy. All right, let's see what's going on here, okay? Any mats here? He's nodded a little. Over here, they often get little knots there. So you can use the dematter for that, or you can try to brush it out. I'll just hold back here and I'll just sawing motion. You can either use this, you can use your brush, depending on the patience of the dog. I can still hear the knot. You look for it. You can also, if it's just not going away and you've been brushing for a while, then you probably need to pull out your scissors. And I like to use my thinners for that. See, there's a lot going on here. Just so much. Just looking for the knots. Sometimes you gotta come in sideways. But this is all sensitive over here, so you gotta be careful. So just brushing and pulling out like that. A lot of knots in the front here, honey. Yeah, what happened here? Did you wear a harness? See all of that? Hang on. These are just thinners, so instead of going with the thinners, the thinner can't get through it, so I'm gonna have to use like blunt, more blunt scissors. You don't really want to pull and then cut because you're pulling on the skin and you can hold and cut, but pulling on the skin just might pull the skin forward and you can cut. You got to keep your eyes open for that. So she might have a hole here, guys. See what we can do with that, because there's a lot of knotting here. There, all right. Okay, let's just toss this over and see our work. We got that other leg to do too. So I want to see this side if everything's fine. Often they'll get knots in here. She's got a whole bunch. You know, you can brush your dog before going to the bath too. She usually does not have these many knots. So I usually just put her in the bath and she's fine. But she must have had a lot more fun in the sun than what she usually does. So I would have certainly liked to brush her first. There's a lot going on. More than I expected. Right in here, see? Come in and tap and okay. She's all good. Or almost. How about the back here? On the inside? If the inside has too many knots, I don't like to brush too much, because I just come in and cut close to the legs, so because they don't like being brushed there at all. I just hold the leg like this, and I'm just fluffing up like that. Here's the lawnmower out there. She is one patient girl, that's for sure. Sometimes they'll have knots at the tip of their toes here, between their toes, so those you just go in and cut that. You don't need to brush that. Almost done, guys. Just want to be sure that her belly is good. It's fine. Side of the leg here. I'll just come in and cut anyway. There are areas that I just don't bother to, to brush, because I know I'm going to be cutting that with my scissors. The rest needs to, like on her body, it really needs to be done because I'm coming in with a guard comb. There. Wow, girly. Okay, your ears are fine. Hanging her head down. Lift your head, hun. Wait. Sides here. Other side. There. She's all good. Good to go. Good to rock and roll. Let's clean this out. Fix my garbage. All right, let's cut our toenails and get the cut going. Toenail time. Toenail time. Flip around, honey. All right, I'm gonna cut just a little. This little girl, I see her every 5 weeks, approximately. I think it's been a little while since I've seen her last, though. She seems like she had a whole bunch of brushing. See, that's... I'm just gonna snip that out. Her toenails are good though. They're not too long. I'm trying to remember if I saw her between grooms for her toenails. Some clients come between grooms just to get their toenails done. And I also, when doing the toenails, just toenails, well, I'll also do the sannies and, you know, their eyes. Check out their eyes, see if everything's fine till the next groom, right? So they don't have to have debris sticking to their bums too much. And when they need to go pee-pees, they don't get too much urine there. You're a good girl, honey. Give me one more chance here. I gotta do that big toenail here. Side. That little hook. All right. So that's done. Oh. Okay, so she's brushed. Everything's ready. So see, an hour and 10 minutes later, I start the cut. I start the cut and she's on, oh, sorry about that, 16 millimeter and 19 on her head. Oh, I can have a sip of my coffee maybe. Let's do this. Sipping my coffee. I keep a cover on it like that. I don't want any hairy coffee. All right, turn you around. So today is a short day because I only have 2 pups today. I have her, and then I have a 5-month-old Yorkie at 12:30. So this is a 16 millimeter, which is a 5/8 inch. The yellow Andes color. So let me know if you're a groomer or if you groom your own dog. Are you here to relax and enjoy the groom? Or are you here to learn, or both? This is a question I like to ask everyone actually. Have you subscribed to my channel? If so, let me know so I can welcome you personally. Have you subscribed to my memberships? If so, let me know so I can welcome you personally. You know, I've been here for, in the fall, and on October 20th, it'll be 2 years already here on YouTube. 2 years. I upload new videos every Monday and Friday. I've been doing that for 2 years. Not bad. And I'm enjoying myself, my time here. I've learned so much about myself, about my own grooming, about my strengths, and about the areas where I need a little more work. You know, watching yourself groom you learn a lot. You learn a lot about who you are and how you're working with the animals. It's like you'll watch it and go, oh my God, how come I do that? I shouldn't be doing it that way, or, you know. And I'm a Virgo, so I'm always trying to perfect the way I do things. But it's really about, you know, it's not about the perfection of the cut. It really is about the care you put into your work, how you care for your clients. You know, well, that was impolite. My phone, my camera just decided to stop. You know, it's not like the cameras, I emptied everything, and I have a whole bunch of space in there, so I don't know what's going on with my camera. It's actually my phone. I'm recording with my phone. So yeah, I don't groom my cat, that's what I was saying. Another groomer comes, she's a mobile groomer, and she takes the cat, goes in her little truck, and she shaves Bagoo. Yeah. I just hope my camera doesn't stop again. I have another camera if ever. There you go, honey. All around. So you can do it like this, like lifting the paw. I like doing it like that. Just lift the paw off the table. Oops, wrong scissors. And I just like to cut around. You know, I try to stay as flat as I can so that I can create a bevel so that it's not flat on the side. See, there's like a bevel. Okay, so let's get with the rest of the grooming. A little bit of knots in there. The rest of the cut, I meant. Hey, microphone, stay there. Right knot. All right. Lately, I've been so tired. I guess got a lot on my plate right now. My daughter is pregnant and going to have her third child. They are so ecstatic. They were working hard on getting that third child. It's a planned baby, of course. And yes, I'm going to be a grandmom for a third time. Number 3, she's 8. She just 8 weeks pregnant now. She's 8 weeks pregnant. So I just lift this leg. And apparently it's a girl. I mean, they have this new exam, this new way to find out earlier if it's a boy or a girl. It's at the hospital here in my area. It's called Sneak Peek. If you look that up, it's called Sneak Peek. And I think it's at 6 weeks they can tell if it's a boy or girl. And the way they can tell has some, I mean, I'm no doctor, so as I'm understanding it, there's in the blood, in my daughter's blood test, there's like, I don't know if there's if there's a missing hormone or a missing something in the blood, then that means it's a girl or a boy, or, you know, it's something like that. Because of course, obviously, you can't see if it's a boy or a girl visually, because nothing's really there yet, I guess. Unless it's so microscopic you can't see it, but I don't know. And apparently she got the answer, and it's 95 to 99% sure that it's a girl. And she's been following other moms that are on Facebook that have done this test, and they all say it was accurate. So, I don't know. She already has 2 girls, and they were really hoping for a little boy. But of course, she's still excited that it's a little girl. And they want a good few kids. So it's like, hey, guys, you see that? See the tip of my scissors not cutting? Scissors are telling me that it's time to have them. sharpened. When your tip isn't cutting, when it's pulling like that, see that? That means that you need sharpening. I am never going to be here to try to pretend that everything is perfect. You know, they say Virgos want perfection. We strive for perfection. Yeah, Virgos are hard workers, and we do try. But with the years, I've understood that it's okay. Wow, younger I would have, you know, I used to put myself through so much anxiety for making things perfect. I'm a musician, I'm an artist, you know, and everything just has to be perfect. There are still things in my life that I'm struggling with. I'd really love to have a perfect house in the sense that, I mean, perfectly clean all the time. I'm struggling with that. Do any of you struggle with housework? Ever since menopause, I found myself not being able to handle things the way I used to. I'm going to get back into it in a second. I just want to show you here. See this? That's knotted up. I didn't want to brush that. I'm going to cut that instead. See if I can open up the knot a bit. And then I can take my brush. The knot has been opened up. And see how I get rid of it just easily like that. So yeah, sorry honey, you got to keep your head out of the way. I have scissors here. So yeah, I just don't have that same energy. So instead, it's like, instead of making things perfect, I just, you know, try to be less hard on myself. And, you know, just be less hard on myself. But I've noticed lately that I'm still hard on myself in certain areas. And that's my housework. It just bothers me. It bothers me when it's not done. And it's not that I'm being lazy. It's just there's not enough time. You know, I finish late and do the videos and I just can't get it all done. And lately, yes, I've been in my yard planting trees, planting flowers. For those who are members, you are seeing all the hard work that I'm doing in my yard and in my front yard. And you're seeing all that, I know. Look at that foot. See? One foot, the other foot. Let's get this one done. I'm so sorry. I get phlegmy when I talk too much. But yeah, I know what would help me with this problem would be to, sorry, I'm very focused. When I'm talking slower like that, it's because I'm focused. Would be to have a schedule. So I figured, it was going good for a while. I had a schedule. I was, you know, I'd get up in the morning and before work, I'd give myself a good hour before work so that I could just do housework. So a load of wash goes in the morning. Every morning, a load of wash. I have a lot of wash here. We're only two, but I have a lot of wash because I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, you know, and I'm a groomer, of course, and I got all these towels and you know, they'll do pee-pees on the ground or whatever, and I have to pick it up. So yeah, I have a lot to wash, okay? So if I'm doing a load every day, see there's a knot in there, then it's fine. My clothes gets washed regularly, and so I know that if I have a schedule, everything will work in my favor. You know, I used to have that schedule. I'd say Okay, I do 1 room a day. So I do 1 wash. I turn on my washing machine. You do 1 wash, and I do 1 room. So we'll say today is Tuesday. I had a list, right? So we'll say today's Tuesday, and all I need to do is do the living room. So the living room meant you dust, and you vacuum, and you tidy up, you know. And then my living room was done. And I washed the floor. I always wash 1 floor. So the living room gets done. And then next day, okay, well, it's the dining room, and wash the floor. I was working so good. Oh, my scissors are driving me crazy, guys. That tip is just not good. And I don't know when I'm gonna see my guy. It's so long I get a hold of him, and it takes weeks before I see him. I have 2 pairs, but both pairs are like, I need a 3rd pair. Excuse me, hang on. Oh, coughing. Oh, boy, guys. That was 1 coughing attack I just had. I'm so sorry for that. I had to stop the video for that. Front's looking great. All right. So we're gonna do the back end here. And the side. I'm a little slow this morning. There are days where, you know, she should be done by now. But I guess what I'm chit-chatting a lot. It takes me a little longer to get her done. Get them done, right? So yeah, because also, yeah, I need to schedule in my grooming, my grooming video editing. It's not, I'm doing, a lot of the videos I'm doing, there's no edits, but I still need to put it into my Premiere Pro, and I still need to, you know, add the ending and play around with this, with audio, and maybe the little coloring and stuff like that. I have templates for it. Guys, I'm sorry. I still have a little bit of that phlegm. But yeah, so there's still minor editing that has to be done, right? I'm still recording, okay. So it takes up maybe now, like it depends on what kind of video I'm doing, but if I'm doing one of these videos where it's just a full video, it'll take me maybe a half hour getting everything done. You know, I need to create the little thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail, and fill in all the information, description, and tags and whatnot. So I got a half hour there, but now I'm doing more videos because I have the memberships going. And those take up a little more time because there's more editing, right? Depending on the video. But it's fine. It's just that I'd like to be able to do this, like, have a specific day to do it all, you know? Instead of having to do stuff every day, every single day. I mean, I don't want to have YouTube on my mind every single day, which is fairly normal, right? I mean, I have other things to do with my life. But it does change your lifestyle when you're a YouTuber, so. I guess I can call myself a YouTuber after 2 years of doing this. 1.5 years. I'll be at 2 years in the fall. That seems good enough. Back here, huh? So she needs me to cut her tail just a bit, bring it down to the table, cut this much off. Guys, give her a good girl, Akina. That's Akina, Akina. If you can give her a good girl, Akina, she did, or a good job, Akina, just comment that. I'll be sure to let her know that you guys are watching. Good job, Akina. You're such a good girl. For her face, I think she's more iffy for her face. She's not too, well, I mean, she'll let me do it, but. So if you see me moving the dog, pushing her head like that, I push her head out of the way. I want her to stand. You know, if I can't, I can't. The cut is as good as the dog. So push her head away. Wait a second, I gotta fix my towel. So push her head away from the scissors. Stand up, good girl. Good girl. Can I get this out of the way? Your tail. Sometimes they'll move their tail out of the way. They'll be good. So I'm pre-recording this, of course. It's Saturday and I got one more pup to go. I didn't have as many pups this week as I usually get. But that's fine because I got to do other stuff that I needed to get done. All right, girlie. Let's get rid of all of that. So I just quickly just bulk everything out. Again, no blowing. I don't like to blow. If you blow, then that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I just don't like doing it. Maybe there's a way to blow to not get it in the dog's eyes. Some of these little hairs hanging here. All right, so did the top front. I'm going to do the chin. She doesn't usually like it very short. I would go shorter than this. No, that's your other mom that was like that. Because she had her first mom had me grooming her a specific way and her mom passed away. So she gave her dog to another lady. I'm gonna go in with my bigger guns. And yeah, so, but her mom liked when her jaw was a little longer, so I might just leave it longer than what I'd usually do, because I'd go in a lot shorter than that, guys. Because I just find that it's cleaner. It's just the way I do my cut. You'll notice that from one groomer to another, the cuts look different and the faces, will look different. Sometimes they'll look the same. Everyone has their own style and way of doing things. And sometimes it's just the client that asks for the groom to be a specific way. So you just follow what the client wants. If the client wants a long chin, then you give your client the long chin. All that's got to go. Because after all, the client's the one that's hiring you. You're hired. You're not the boss of, I'm my own boss, but the person hiring me is my boss. All that hair, it's good to get rid of this hair because sometimes that goes into the mouth. And that can cause rotting of the root of the tooth because it can wrap around that tooth and rot. So as I see this little pup fairly often, she doesn't have so much to come off on her face. Just take a little of this off on each side. And now I'm going to go and do ears. Look at your ears a minute. So her ears would be around the same length as her jaw. I just felt for her ear leather there. You always want to feel for the ear leather. Seeing properly? Okay. I try to round it out a bit on the edges here. And then soften it up a bit. With my Shinobis, the 38 tooth Shinobis from Kenshi. Soften up around the eyebrows. To the other ear. See the difference? One ear, other ear. Okay, so I'm going to find that leather. It's an approx, guys. Have a look. Maybe a little more off. She's lifting her ear. I just want to have a little look. All right. See how good she is? I thought she was not going to let me do her face. Today she's really good. She's quiet. I mean, she's usually quiet. She's usually good. I'm just saying that sometimes when it comes to her face, sometimes she just doesn't want me to. I guess you're just relaxed. You know, there are days where dogs seem to be more relaxed, and that's on a rainy day. There's something about rainy days, huh? Even for us. So I'll just fluff all of that up and get rid of what's hanging on top of that ear. These two could see the sharpener. I'll do the same thing, fluff some of this up here on that side and get rid of that. That's right above the ear. And then you just have a look. Pull everything forward, and if there's a point, I don't want a cone head. I don't want that cone head. Depending on how long you've cut or the shape of the dog's head, you may end up with a cone head, so you gotta I just like to pull everything forward like this and get rid of the cone head. No cones. Guys, so if you enjoy videos like this, please like and subscribe. I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. And I also have memberships going on now. So if you want to join the memberships, I am sharing quiet grooming where I do not speak. And I'm also sharing what's going on in my, because I'm creating a beautiful, beautiful garden in the back. I'm starting, this is a clean slate right now. So I'm just starting everything off. So I planted some trees back there. More trees are going to be planted. And I have flower beds that I'm creating. I'm studying up right now on all of that. I watched a whole bunch of videos yesterday. So I hope you join me so that we can, you can be a part of my document, because I'm documenting this. And there are other things I'll be sharing also, of course, behind the scenes, maybe specific grooming lessons and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed my video. That's it for now. Take care. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Hey there, pet parents and grooming gurus. If you enjoyed my tail-wagging transformations and want more tips to keep your furry friends looking fabulous, just hit that subscribe button. Remember, every click helps spread the love and lathers of grooming joy. Subscribe now and let's embark on this fluffy journey together.